Let me talk about another thing that is always on the list of priorities for the party and for the chairman, which is recruitment of candidates. And that's one where I'd say I'll look at it exactly in the opposite way. If you know me at all, you know I've always been involved in recruitment. And that's something that I would be hands-on with and more hands-on with than you can believe. I've done it not only in the last 3 cycles, even before I was elected to the Senate. I was doing it so long ago that I think my best catch, and you could ask him about it, unfortunately he's not here to testify on my behalf, was Tony Guglielmo. I sat down with him back in 1991 during the anti-income tax days because I saw an opportunity in the Senate district, and I remembered that there was a man out in eastern Connecticut that had done very, very well in a congressional race back in 1980. We met at Kenny's bar down the street from the Capitol that some of you would remember. I've been doing it all my life, and I do it because I believe in it, because we've got to have strong candidates, and I do it because I love it. I really, truly enjoy explaining to people what's involved in running for office, in what's involved in serving in the legislature or serving at the local level, and getting campaigns underway, giving them a roadmap and a vision for what has to happen to get started. I've traveled over the last 5 years all over the state. I didn't know that Salisbury and Putnam were quite as far in the corner as I discovered. Peter is laughing because he knows. But I've done it happily. I've been honored to do it. And as chairman, I would do more of it, and I would do it with the support of the staff. And I would do it in cooperation with the caucuses. I couldn't be in a better position to work with the very talented staff and the very dedicated legislators we have who are attempting to find candidates right now. The coordination would be superb. And it's got to happen. It's got to happen at the legislative level, and it's going to be very important next year to have it happen at the congressional level too, to make sure we have the strongest candidates we can have to keep our ticket intact from top to bottom. You know, it's not enough, in my opinion, to recruit candidates. I think that where we really have fallen down, and something I have not been able to do, but I would make an absolute priority, both personally and as an organization, is to recruit campaign managers. It's very discouraging to me to find an excellent candidate, a candidate who can win, a candidate that I got one I won't even look at here, but a candidate that I really have affection for, who doesn't have the leadership that he needs to make the campaign work. We have an opportunity, because of the funding system, to be able to employ people to be campaign managers. In a state Senate race, out of a budget of $110,000 or so, to spend a couple of $1,000s a month for 5 months to hire either a recent college graduate, a college kid who's willing to take the fall semester off, possibly a retired person, possibly an unemployed person. I mean, I know a lot of them here in Connecticut, and they're not, a lot of them have a lot of talent, and put them to work for that period. Not throw them into the breach, but give them the proper training that they need, and then give them the supervision so that we can sit down with them every week with a checklist and go over what they're doing in those campaigns. I know we could have won a couple of state Senate seats this time that we didn't win if we had had that kind of help for the campaign. And I know that we would be building a legacy for our state party if we had trained, experienced campaign people all over, going back home to their town committees, available for the municipal election, ready to step up and run congressional campaigns. We've got to start building that part of the bench, and I would make that a priority as chairman. You know, I truly like working with young people. When I haven't been involved in politics, I've been a teacher. And I feel like I've got an ability to assess the talents and the potential of young people. And I take a genuine pleasure in seeing their growth and being a part of it. And I would like to do that with the state party. I'd like to do that with these young campaign professionals. Another thing we could do if we had that kind of campaign talent available to us is something that I dearly would love to do. In fact, Alan and Annalise and I talked about it a couple of years ago, to activate the party in the cities, which is to get strong legislative candidates in our major cities. There's a lot of things we could do to build the party in the cities. I mean, just showing up to some extent is important. And again, I think I represent the largest city of any Republican in the state Senate. I always have represented Waterbury. And I'm proud to. I love the city. I'm interested in the challenge. And I think I know what needs to be done. But part of it is to have campaigns, because campaigns are the organizing principle in politics. That is what draws people out. That's what activates people. It's what gives people a goal. It's what gives us an excuse to get our message out. We've got, in Hartford, New Haven, and Bridgeport, we've got 5 state Senate districts that, under normal circumstances as it stands today, I don't think we have a realistic chance of winning. But if we can find a candidate who is willing to bring the message to those cities, and we can animate those town committees, and I think those town committees are just waiting to be animated, to be given something that they can get their hands on. If we can raise the money for those races, we would have over $500,000 to spend in those 3 cities. With that, we set up headquarters, we put campaign professionals on the ground, we set up events, we use publicity to get our message out. And when we're done with that campaign, however many votes we get, we will leave with new town committee members, we'll leave with hundreds of identified Republican voters, data, Republican-leaning voters, and we will give encouragement to the young people who share our principles in the cities, but see no future in the Republican Party. They have to know that we will stand with them, or we're never going to get them. We've got a couple of them in the room right now, as a matter of fact, candidates that were willing to step forward in difficult districts. And I know the frustration they had with the party not being strong enough to give them the support they needed. I think this is one way that we can begin to solve that problem. Question people will ask is, can we actually raise the money in those cities? If we look for the candidates this summer, we can start raising the money as soon as we have the candidate. We could start raising the money today. You all know what we need: 300 in-district donors and $15,000. In the state Senate districts, every one of them includes more than the city. We always have Bridgeport and Stratford, or we have Hartford and Windsor and Bloomfield. There's always other town committees to involve in that. That mission becomes, at the town committee level, to find the 300 people in the districts. The $15,000, obviously, is something that we can reach outside the district for. We could be here having a reception saying, I need you to come prepared to write 5 $100 checks. Or we could be doing it in Scott Francis' house. Or we could be doing it in Wilson's pub. But we can find places to raise that money. I was involved with the Steve Mullins campaign in the special election last year. And in that district, which is as tough as any of them, in New Haven, we were able to raise that money in less than 3 weeks because we had a goal and we were motivated. And we can do that again all over the state.